How much screen time is too much for your child? You have probably asked yourself this question 100 times. You see your toddler swiping a tablet before they can speak. You see your teenager glued to their phone for hours, and you feel guilty. But you are also tired, and sometimes the screen is the only thing that gives you a break. Here is the truth. There is no perfect number that works for every child, but scientists have studied this deeply. They have looked at brain development, sleep, behavior, attention spans, and they have found clear guidelines for every age. Welcome to Health Expressed. Today we are not looking at blood types or eye colours. We are looking at screens and what science actually says about how much time your child should spend on them. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, what is your biggest struggle with screen time? And how old is your child? Let us start with the youngest first. The American Academy of Pediatrics is very clear on this. For children under 18 months, 0 screen time is the recommendation, except for video chatting with family. Why so strict? Because a baby's brain grows faster in the first 18 months than at any other time. Every single experience is building neural connections. When a baby looks at a screen, they are not learning, they are not interacting, they are not hearing language from a real human face. Worse than that, studies show that screen time before 18 months is linked to language delays. One study found that for every 30 minutes of handheld screen time, the risk of expressive speech delay increased by nearly 50%. So what should a baby do instead? Tummy time, looking at your face, listening to your voice, reaching for objects, being held, being read to. Real life is the best screen for a baby. At this age, your child does not need an iPad. They need you. Between 18 and 24 months, you can begin to introduce high-quality screen time. But there is a rule. You must watch with your child. Do not hand them the tablet and walk away. Why? Because young children cannot learn from screens on their own. They need a parent to point, to name, to explain. One study compared children who watched a show alone versus with a parent. The children who watched with a parent learned twice as many new words. So, what counts as high quality? Think slow-paced, educational, simple. Sesame Street, Daniel Tiger, Bluey. Avoid fast-paced shows with quick cuts and flashing lights. These overstimulate a developing brain. And keep it short, 5 to 10 minutes at a time. No more than 1 hour total per day. At this age, screens are not a babysitter. They are a tool for shared learning. You and your child together. That is the science. Now we reach the preschool years, ages 2 to 5. This is when screen time habits really form. The recommendation from every major health organization is clear. No more than 1 hour of high-quality screen time per day. But here is what most parents miss. The 1 hour counts total. Not just TV, not just tablets. All screens combined. Television, tablet, smartphone, computer, gaming device. 1 hour total. Why this limit? Because preschool children need 3 things more than screens: physical activity, sleep, and face-to-face interaction. When a child spends 2 or 3 hours on a screen, something else gets taken away. Less time running outside, less time playing pretend.
less time learning to read facial expressions. Studies show that preschool children with more than 1 hour of screen time per day have higher rates of attention problems. They are more likely to be overweight. They have more difficulty regulating their emotions. But here is the good news. Not all screen time is equal. A child who watches a slow-paced educational show with you is different from a child who watches fast-paced cartoons alone. So choose wisely. And remember, the best thing you can do at this age is turn off the screen and go outside.
Now we enter the school years, ages 6 to 12. This is where screen time gets complicated, because screens are now part of school. Homework, research. You cannot simply say no screens. But you still need boundaries. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that parents create a media use plan. Not a fixed number for every family, but a plan that works for yours. Here are the science-backed guidelines. For entertainment screen time, not schoolwork, 2 hours or less per day is a reasonable goal. This includes video games, social media, streaming shows, YouTube. But here is the most important part. Screens should never replace sleep, physical activity, or family time. One study of over 4,000 children found that those with more than 2 hours of screen time per day had lower academic performance. They also had higher rates of anxiety and depression. Another study found that children who had screens in their bedrooms slept 45 minutes less per night. That adds up. Over a year, that is more than 200 hours of lost sleep. So what should you do? Set clear rules. No screens during meals. No screens 1 hour before bedtime. Keep screens out of the bedroom. And most importantly, model the behavior you want to see. If you are always on your phone, your child will be too.
Teenagers. This is the hardest age for screen time, because they have their own phones, their own accounts, their own social lives, and you cannot monitor everything. But science still has guidance for you. For teenagers, the total screen time matters less than what they are doing on their screens. There is a big difference between using a screen for creative projects, learning new skills, or connecting with friends, and mindless scrolling, doom scrolling, or consuming low-quality content. One large study found that teenagers who spent more than 3 hours per day on social media had higher rates of depression and anxiety. Another study found that limiting social media to 30 minutes per day significantly reduced depression symptoms. So here is the recommendation. Aim for no more than 2 to 3 hours of entertainment screen time per day, but focus on quality. Encourage your team to use screens for creation, not just consumption. Making videos, learning coding, writing, digital art. These are productive uses of screen time. Also, keep enforcing the rules. No phones at the dinner table. No screens in the bedroom overnight. And a tech curfew at least 1 hour before bed. Teenagers need sleep more than they need likes. No matter the age, one thing is clear. Screens before bed are harmful to every child. The blue light emitted by phones, tablets, and computers suppresses melatonin. That is the hormone that tells your brain it is time to sleep. One study found that children who used screens within 1 hour of bedtime took 20 minutes longer to fall asleep, and their sleep quality was significantly worse. Worse sleep leads to worse behavior, lower academic performance, higher rates of obesity,
and more emotional outbursts. So what is the solution? Create a screen-free wind-down period before bed, at least 1 hour. During that hour, read a book together, talk about the day, listen to calm music, stretch, breathe. Anything except looking at a screen. This one habit changes everything.
How do you know if your child is already getting too much screen time? Science has identified several red flags. Your child becomes angry or anxious when screens are taken away. Your child loses interest in hobbies, sports, or playing with friends. Your child has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. Your child's grades are dropping without explanation. Your child complains of headaches or eye strain. Your child is overweight or gaining weight rapidly. Your child seems withdrawn or depressed. If you see any of these signs, it is time to reduce screen time. Not punish, not shame, but gently, firmly reduce. Replace screen time with other activities. Go for a walk, play a board game, cook together, build something. It will be hard at first. Your child will complain, they will beg, they will promise anything. Stay consistent. After a few weeks, they will adjust, and you will see the difference. One more thing. Your screen time matters too. Studies show that parents who are constantly on their phones have children who are constantly on their screens. Children learn by watching you. If you check your phone during dinner, they will too. If you scroll in bed, they will too. If you cannot put your phone down, they will not learn how. So here is the challenge. Look at your own screen time this week. Are you modeling the behavior you want to see? You do not have to be perfect, but you have to try. Put your phone away during family meals. Do not look at screens during conversations. Show your child that real life is more interesting than any app. That is the most powerful lesson you can teach. So let us bring this all together. What does science actually say about screen time for your child? Under 18 months, 0 screens except video calls. 18 to 24 months, introduce slowly, always with you. 2 to 5 years, 1 hour or less of high-quality content. 6 to 12 years, 2 hours or less for entertainment. 13 to 18 years, focus on quality, not just quantity. All ages, no screens 1 hour before bed. All ages, keep screens out of the bedroom. All ages, model good behavior yourself. Here is the truth Health Expressed wants you to remember. Screens are not evil. They are tools. The problem is not the screen itself. It is what the screen replaces. Sleep, play, conversation, nature, physical activity. These are the things children need most. So do not feel guilty about every minute of screen time. But pay attention, set boundaries, and when in doubt, turn it off and go outside. What should we decode next? Comment below. I read every single one. Until next time, keep looking closer. You are ancient.